Aloha Kauai. This is your County of Kauai briefing for Thursday, July 21st. I'm Managing Director Mike DeHelig. Last weekend, a historic south swell damaged a portion of Ho'one Road in Poipu. We are happy to announce that crews have quickly repaired the road, which is now fully open and accessible to motorists. We thank the Department of Public Works Roads Division along with Mayor Kawakami, who joined crews on Tuesday for their work to safely reopen this road. The county continues to assess other damages caused by the high surf and will provide further details and updates on public structures once those assessments are made. We also extend our mahalo to our Ocean Safety Bureau and all of our first responders for keeping our community safe in and out of the ocean. The high surf advisory has since been canceled, but we will continue to remind all beach goers the importance of ocean safety. It's always good practice to speak to a county lifeguard or visit www.hawaiibeachsafety.com before entering any water. And remember, know your limits. Know the conditions, and when in doubt, don't go out. Our Office of Economic Development invites all residents and visitors to take a quick online survey that will help assess transportation preferences here on Kauai. The results will help officials better understand why people choose certain modes of transportation and to find avenues where alternative options may work well here on Kauai. To take the survey, please visit www.getaroundkauai.com. Now for an update on COVID-19. Case counts rose here and statewide over the past week. Kauai's 7-day average is at 27 cases a day, up from 23 last week. Statewide, the average is 574 cases a day, up from 558 the week before. The actual numbers are higher because this data does not include home tests. Our hospitals and healthcare system are managing cases and have adequate capacity. For more, we turn to Kauai District Deputy Health Officer Lauren Guess.
Thanks, Mike. The BA.5 variant is even more easily transmitted than earlier variants. It causes reinfections at high rates among people who have had COVID at any time, even recently, and among those who have been vaccinated. Being fully vaccinated and boosted provides strong, though not 100%, protection against severe disease. The CDC has rated Kauai County in the high range for COVID transmission. We can all take precautions to protect ourselves and help slow the spread of COVID while our community is at high risk. Wear a well-fitting mask indoors, get up to date on your vaccinations and boosters, avoid large crowds, and when you do gather, do it outdoors. If you test positive, contact your healthcare provider to see if you should receive treatment for COVID. The treatments are most effective if taken as soon as possible after you get sick. You can give COVID to someone else for as long as 10 days after the day you got sick. Although isolation is recommended for only 5 days, you should be very careful to wear a mask whenever you are around other people for an additional 5 days so you don't accidentally spread COVID. Everyone aged 6 months and older should get vaccinated, and everyone has a choice of Moderna or Pfizer vaccines. The FDA has authorized the Novavax COVID vaccine for emergency use, and this week the CDC recommended it as an option for adults 18 years of age and older who have not yet been vaccinated. Novavax is not yet available, but we expect it to arrive soon. We will provide updates when this vaccine becomes available here. Next week, the Department of Health's Kauai District Health Office will conduct a community assessment for public health emergency response, also known as CASPER. This survey will assess the community's perception of Kauai's COVID-19 response and current household emergency preparedness. The responses will help us understand how the community sees our COVID-19 response efforts over the past 2 years. It will build upon what we've learned from prior CASPER surveys about household emergency preparedness. Survey teams will go door to door July 26 to 29 to 30 randomly selected census blocks. 7 houses within each census block will be surveyed. Only selected households are eligible to participate. Survey teams are comprised of DOH staff with support from the Kauai Medical Reserve Corps and the American Red Cross. Team members will carry identification cards and wear vests identifying themselves as part of the DOH survey team. Survey teams will wear face masks and physical distancing will be observed. Selected households may also complete the survey by phone. The survey takes about 10 minutes to complete and all responses are confidential. Survey teams will not collect names or addresses. We greatly appreciate the participation of Kauai residents in this island-wide survey effort that enables the Kauai District Health Office to meet our community's needs before, during, and after a disaster.
Mahalo, Lauren. That's all we have for this week's briefing. Remember to follow our County of Kauai Facebook page to stay informed on any up-to-date information and announcements. Until next week, mahalo Kauai.